with sports talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. Now, some middleweight slash super middleweight news and some Negro League fighter news, basically. Basically, one of the chairmen of the Negro League boxers has got to be Demetruis Andrade. Y'all know that by now. And some interesting news. Demetruis Andrade, we know, is moving up to 168 pounds so he can become the mandatory for Canelo Alvarez WBO style. Right? And normally, seeing as though he's the champ, he was the WBO champion at 154 pounds and at 160 pounds, been reigning since 2013. He should be allowed to go straight into the Canelo fight. They should be mandating Canelo to fight him. But it's Demetruis Andrade and he's a Negro League fighter. They're not doing it that way. They're going to force him to fight Zach Parker, who's been waiting for a while, you know. And so they're going to force Demetruis Andrade to fight Zach Parker. There's a purse bid. It's going to be sometime, I think, next week. Right? 65-35 split. And, you know, they're supposed to get it on. Right? So the winner could then fight Canelo. Now, if that's going to be Demetruis Andrade, Canelo ain't going to fight him anyway. He'll probably just relinquish the belt like he always does. It is what it is. I don't think that Demetruis Andrade should be mandated to fight anybody. If he moves up to 168 pounds, give him the damn title fight versus Canelo Alvarez. He deserves it, and we've been seeing Canelo avoid him for years. But that's not going to be the case. But that's just news. So we'll see what happens. Zach Parker is also an undefeated fighter, good fighter. I'm just not going for him. I'm going for Demetruis Andrade, period. Because of the simple fact he's been not treated right for too long. Right? And here's another hurdle. Right? Now, they would have let Demetruis Andrade, we talked about last week, they would have let him fight David Benavidez. Right? Because David Benavidez is considered the hardest guy at 168 pounds. But that fight fell through because Benavidez wanted a little bit more money, and I'm not going to, Benavidez should ask for some more money to fight Demetruis Andrade. They said he's harder than Canelo, we want more money than fighting Canelo. Right? And he's right. And I told you then, Demetruis Andrade and David Benavidez shouldn't have to fight for peanuts. Right? They should be trying to get 8 figures too. Damn right. So that fight just fell through, so Demetruis Andrade is going to go the proper way like he always does, you know, and become Canelo's mandatory, and then you guys watch what will happen, because I'm damn near almost always right when it comes to especially Negro League fighters, because I know the motivation. So we'll see what happens there. Let's move to a lighter Negro League fighter, in Devin Haney. Devin Haney is the baddest dude at lightweight. By far. I don't think anyone's close. If they were close, they would have fought him. Every other significant lightweight has had an opportunity to fight this guy. Lomachenko, who some consider to be the best one, he's been being called for 3 years now Nomachenko. He is the reason he's been called Nomachenko, by Devin Haney. Because Devin Haney was his mandatory. Lomachenko went to WBC and begged for the same stuff that Canelo got, that Charlo belt, a.k.a. franchise title. And after that, now we have all this, you know, confusing. So Lomachenko did that. Then he thought it was the easier fight would be Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, that didn't happen either. He got messed around, got beat up by Teofimo Lopez, right? And then Lopez had the title, and he could have been undisputed by fighting Devin Haney, and Lopez didn't do it either, which means Devin Haney's better than him too. Devin Haney, in the meantime, could have fought his mandatory, like most mandatories do, but that was Ryan Garcia. He didn't want to do it either. Jojo Diaz actually didn't want to do it either. Javier Fortunas didn't want to do it either. Gervonta Tank Davis didn't want to do it either. Which means Devin Haney's the best here. Those are badges of honor here, and we see that. You know what I'm saying? So, Kambosos beats Teofimo Lopez, and he was talking before the Teofimo Lopez like he would want to become undisputed by fighting Devin Haney, and I told you that that is not going to happen. He will find out after beating Teofimo Lopez that he is entitled, that nobody, especially in America, wants to see Devin Haney become undisputed, so they're going to do everything so he doesn't have to fight him. And I've been absolutely right so far, haven't I? But I hear of late that it's, you know, close again. Right? But you never hear, you hear it somewhere on the internet somewhere. You don't hear it on mainstream nothing. Which means they're still doing stuff to make sure it doesn't happen. So I don't have any good news for you. I don't think Devin Haney and Kambosos are fighting. I would hope I'm wrong about it. Actually, I'm right already. Even if it did happen, they did everything, they exhausted everything so it wouldn't happen. Let's see what happens, because it's an easy fight. And here's another thing. Speaking of how you see how they mandating your boy, the chairman of the Negro Leagues, Demetruis Andrade. He's got to go up and fight somebody else, which normally they could just mandate him to fight Canelo, but they won't. Right? Same thing, same dude here with the other dude for Mauricio Sullivan, the president for the WBC. He, right, could just say, you know what, I made this franchise title, I made this confusion. Let me just mandate, Kambosos to fight Devin Haney for undisputed, and after that we have no discrepancies. No, we don't want to do that. Because why? Devin Haney wins the fight, and then all the ones that don't want to fight him are in trouble. Like then Lomachenko would all of a sudden not have the same energy to fight Devin Haney because he would have done it by now. Right? So that's what's happening on the scene of boxing. Some other stuff. Dillian White and Tyson Fury about to fight, but who cares actually right now? Until, it gets closer, then maybe. But as of right now, and I have an issue with that fight too, but that's that license from Tyson Fury, which they hope that we don't talk about. But I will be the one that will be talking about that only, exclusively, when I talk about that fight. But I won't right now. Bottom line, 2 Negro League fighters are being duped like always. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm about to hear y'all.